There we go. Okay. Hopefully hopefully you can hear my voice. Alright, hopefully things are going okay. Right now the stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended stream bitrate, but so far it looks like it's doing a fairly good job with encoding and all that other stuff. And I mean, tell you the truth, the upload speed was kind of up tonight, which is kind of unusual, so I figured I'd try doing it at 720p instead of the normal 480p. But I'm pretty sure something's gonna blow up on my end. So, what's gonna blow up? It's either gonna be the router, it's going to be the cable box, it's probably going to be one of my 3 Wi-Fi cards, which if it's my phone, well, please, oh dear lord, heck no. That thing costs like $100. I know that if you ever see it, it looks like a normal brick phone, you know, with the keypad and all that other stuff, something that wouldn't necessarily cost that much. But, oh well, I mean, I was looking at a replacement that was cheaper, but, you know, that's a flip phone, by the way. Yeah, I'm not really necessarily stepping away from dumb phones, am I? But, you know, at the same time, I mean, really, dumb phones are smarter than smartphones. The biggest problem is cutting down the 3G, but, you know, I don't know. Anyway, right now it looks like it's struggling to keep up, but it's not doing the worst job in the world. It's just something that we're probably going to have to live with because, again, my internet is sucky and it always goes woo, 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 you know? I mean, I'm pretty sure if I were to make, like, a sine wave or a sine graph of it, it would be like, you know? All over the place. Or draw an image representation, which would be like, woo, 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 you know? Okay, sorry, I guess I'm a little bit out of control right now. Anyway. So, I suppose it's time to talk about the big dilemma. And that is, how on earth am I going to manage these maps? Because look, I did a little bit of experimentation on the side here. Actually, tell you the truth, I should also open up that file where I did the experimentation in to give you a bit of a demonstration of what really is going on and what really caused it. And tell you the truth, I did this experimentation on my own, and this is how I found out what was actually causing all the problem. Unfortunately, though, good news is I do have a fix for it. Well, actually, I do have like 3 fixes for it. Well, 2 fixes for it, really. Okay, let's go with 2. Okay, so I have like 2 fixes for it. One of them is going to take a really long time to implement, fix, and do some bug checking and all that other stuff. Which means that either I'm going to be releasing a very sloppy version of it, which probably wouldn't work out very well as the one that I currently have. Not that the one that I currently have is working as good as it should be, because there is some cracks in the seams and all that, but that's beyond the point. I could update it so... Well, I can update it to do a vector map, but I would also have to do some memory management with that too, so it doesn't always keep those maps up and running when it doesn't need to, wasting more memory, causing a memory leak. Because, you know, that's the thing. It's a trade-off, basically. It's, Okay, so yeah, basically it's a trade-off here, basically. What I need to do is I need to figure out how to prevent a memory leak from happening, or just rewrite the code that puts up the map. Okay, so is it up? Yeah, it's up. Okay. So here we go. Here is the code. Basically, this is... I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how this works. So basically, when it comes down to it, I have it set so that whenever I press a number on my keyboard, it will switch to a certain map. It will also load a different texture, and it will also load a different map. Oh. Well, okay then. And each time it will load a different map, you'll probably see exactly what the problem is. You'll see exactly what the problem is here when I fire this up and load in a different load in some maps. So, here we go. Give it a moment to fire up. There we go. Okay, so see, this is map number 1 here. Now, watch as I go to map number 2. Okay, that didn't actually do too bad. Map number 3, though. Okay, and I think part of it may just have to be with the fact that map number 3 is probably smaller than map number 1 and number 2. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should try that. Stop. I already know what caused the issue, okay? Don't bring that up with me. I've seen that error so many freaking times, it's not even funny. So, you know, I think it's actually just trying to compress a certain number of vertices into a much smaller area when it really shouldn't be. So, you know, I'm going to go over to 2, and then I'm going to go back to 1, and there we go. So, yes, this proves my point. So, basically, when it comes down to it, I either have to find a way to get rid of the extra vertices that we don't need, which, again, requires me to rewrite my map function, or I need to figure out how to completely and totally reshape, or, well, in this case, I would have to say, how would I describe it? Okay, I would have to or I'm going to have to use the vector class where I can call in multiple maps at a time, but I'm going to have to do some serious memory management so that it doesn't overflood the memory. So that, you know, it still runs on something like this, which, you know, is actually my test rig right now. Actually, this is my primary aim for bench, really. An Intel CPU, I mean, not an Intel, but an AMD A4 with 6 gigs of memory. So, there is the dilemma. So, my big question is, since I'm probably going to do it the way that's going to be headache-inducing, but it will probably be quicker in the long run. It'd be quicker to implement because, at least on the positive side, if it creates a new map every single time, I don't have to worry about doing the management with the vertices itself. I would have to worry about doing the management with the maps itself, the number of maps itself. So, basically, when it comes down to it, I have to figure out how to call these in. Because apparently I don't think it's really the... Well, actually, I wonder if it really is the calling into the maps that causes issue. Now I'm really curious. Because, you know, here's the thing. I said it was something about the images themselves, right? Well, and apparently I didn't mind going up to a bigger one, but going down to a smaller one, it seemed to freak out. Though, as far as I know, I hadn't had too much trouble with it transitioning from image to image, even if one was smaller than the other. Then again, I don't know. We'll have to see. No data, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, there we go. Now we're back on. Though, fortunately, it's streaming at 401 kilobits per second, despite the fact that, honestly, it said that the upload speed was much better than this. Don't know why my finger's hurting right over there, but oh well. Yeah, my Wi-Fi, if I had to show it. Or if I had to make a demonstration of it, it's a roller coaster. And it's not just that one that goes up, down, and loop-de-loop. No. It's the type that looks like spaghetti all over the place. Like, honestly, if it's like every inch of park ground, the roller coaster is just there, you know? Sometimes it's in good spots and it works. And most times, it's in a really weird position where it could probably saw your head off. If you're not ducking into your own seat. So how to do this? Like I said, I have a fairly decent idea of how to do this, and maybe I might want to do this as a quick little notepad sketch so that maybe people can see and I might get a good demonstration of what I'm trying to do here. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set up a vector object. So basically we're just going like vector map man. And then we're just going to call it call map. Wait, no, the map manager is something different, isn't it? Okay, nope, it's maps. It's maps. Ah, shoot. I should be shot in the foot with that. And yes, I am planning on trying to do some music composing for this game. Actually, tell you the truth, I really want to make a soundtrack for this game. I kind of want something to be a bit somber, something ambient, something that's not too in your face, but, you know, just something there to complement it. You know, kind of give the world a bit of a mysterious vibe. Having, like, something kind of melancholy, but deep, you know? Something that's kind of thought-provoking. Something in a way that will make people go like, wow, this is something mysterious. This is kind of interesting. Actually, tell you the truth, and, you know, maybe something that also feels a little sad in it, too. Actually, tell you the truth, I've actually been listening to a whole lot of pieces of soundtrack from the Epic Mickey soundtrack, which, by the way, that game has a phenomenal soundtrack, okay? Like, seriously, I know some people are probably going to tell me that there are games out there with better soundtracks, and yes, I am very much inclined to agree that there are games with better soundtracks than Epic Mickey. But Epic Mickey does have one stellar soundtrack. One amazing soundtrack. I do recommend it as a list. I do recommend listening to it. Unfortunately, I'm not really going to play it here because it's copyrighted. Not that I really should worry about copyright, because unfortunately, I don't make money off of this channel. Why am I worried about copyright? I don't make money off of this channel at all. I don't have enough subscribers to meet the deadline to become monetized. I don't have enough views on a day to meet the deadline to become monetized. So why am I worried about copyright? I shouldn't be worried about them taking my money. Because, really, at the end of the day, I'm probably never going to get copyrighted anyway. Or, well, I can never really get money from this channel anyway. I mean, seriously. I mean, heck, my Patreon page that I have up right now, which, by the way, you can check out. I think I have it linked down in the description below, but, quote me if I'm wrong. My Patreon page is now even more focused on my game engine development, and actually I kind of want to push a little more comic development on the comic writing on the drawing on there too, because why not? But the reason why it's more focused on game engine development and all that, because I know that I'm probably going to make more money developing games and making the game engine and pushing it out there, and heck, even maybe making comics, than I would be doing YouTube. Heck, even if I start a full-blown animated series, which, by the way, I do have one inside my head, but I'm not going to discuss it right now because it's not relevant to this. I mean, I'm still probably not really going to necessarily make all that much money off of YouTube. When it comes down to it, can I make money off of the show? Yes. I could probably turn it into merch. But does that mean I'm going to be making money off of YouTube? No! Not in any way, shape, or form, because I know this channel isn't popular enough. I know I've had my qualms with YouTube's copyright, and also I have a few videos that are just absolutely blocked because YouTube put a copyright DMCA on my channel. It's not a copyright strike, thankfully, so thankfully my channel is still afloat, and I don't have to worry about any kind of pull down at any point in time. But at the same time, really, it's just videos that aren't available to the public right now. Though, granted, those videos are from a long time ago, though. Oh, man, it's kind of hard to believe that it's been 13 years already. Ugh. Man. Where has the time gone? Sheesh. Wait, 13 years. Oh, no, yeah, no, not... It is 13 years, hasn't it? Because I've uploaded in 2012, I think? No? Actually, this would be 12 years, wouldn't it? I think I might have made a mistake. Oops. Well, actually, I think I might want to check myself here. Give me a quick second here, folks. Studio, YouTube. Okay, here we go. Of course, it loads very, very slowly. Because my internet's starting to suck. Again. Give me a quick second here. I'll just switch it over to this camera for now. Also, I still need to yet announce the Shake It Up Jam for this year, too. I actually do have an idea of what to do for the Shake It Up Jam, but I'm not gonna tell you the theme of it yet, though. I do think it's a really good idea, and honestly, I think a lot of people would have a lot of fun with it if they were to mess around with it. So, yeah, there's that. I still need to get some stuff up and ready for it, though. Wait, unlisted? One of those videos was unlisted. For what reason was it unlisted? It should be public. There we go. Okay. Sorry, for the month of Shake, I usually tend to have all my previous videos open. I mean, if it says partially blocked or blocked on it, then of course in that case I'm not going to argue it because nobody's going to see it anyway. But actually, it's kind of funny though. The blocked ones are actually some of my more worst ones, so, you know. But otherwise, most of these videos from the past, you probably shouldn't have too much problems looking at. 2016, 2016, 2016. I know I started this in high school. Probably like my 10th grade year in high school. Yeah, that clearly goes to show how well this channel has done, hasn't it? And why my channel has, so many issues, I guess. Okay, I'm getting closer and closer to the beginning of this channel here. 2013, 2012. 2012. March 13th, 2012. Okay, so 2012, 2014, 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Shoot! It's only been 12 years! Oh, shoot. I made a big mistake. I did a big mistake. I did a big oopsies. I think I did put a... Though, I didn't really necessarily make a, image for... Oh, well. I put it up already, so... Still, 12 years in obscurity. That's still a long time. I guess I might have had a slight brain fart there. Whoops. So it's a 12-year anniversary and not a 13. It's a typo, but I can't send the balloons back. So let's just say that. Oh, boy. Well, I suppose it's not the worst thing that could ever happen. Oh, look, it's actually back up to excellent. Oh, nope, never mind. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, so people experience buffering. Oh. YouTube, I'm sick of this message, please. Give me something I don't know, okay? Tell me something I don't know. So, anyway, so here we go. We need to get back to figuring this out. And let's not debate the numbers of the Superchocolatemilkshake channel. So if I have to pull 13 years again next year, at least you'll now know why. Because I made a serious mistake. I made a serious mistake. Actually, you know what? No. You know what? I'm going to do something here real quick. Like, I'm going to open up here to... It's going to take a while to load, so... Oh, well, I guess we can... Oh, there we go. There's a splash image, I know. Why do I use Kirita? Because it's a free app. It works well with a tablet, too. It works better than GIMP, that's for sure. I still use GIMP, though, because... Actually, GIMP is really good at pixel art. It's GIMP is really good at pixel art, concepts, and also... Okay, GIMP is good at pixel art, concepts, and Photoshop. Kirta is good at animation, hand-drawn images, background images, painting, and... Trying to think of what else I use Kirta for. But I think that's pretty much it. I mean, that's it all right together there. So, you know, I'm just going to do something here. I'm just going to open up a new image. I think I set it to 4K, but I'm not quite sure. Gotta take a look. Oh, sheesh. We're gonna be exploring around my webcam here. Which, of course, actually is supposed to be a... I think my webcam was supposed to be a Power Director app. I mean, a Cyberlink app, but I think I only used it, like, maybe as few times as I can. Alright, so yeah, we're taking a look at concepts for business cards and all that other stuff. There we go, that's it. Okay, we're gonna open this up. Actually, we're gonna... Let's see, what size is it? 256 by 1440. Okay, there. So 2560 by 144p. There we go. Create. And then, of course, we're just gonna drag this in here. We're gonna insert this new layer. We're gonna put a big red X. Okay, so in order to see what I'm doing here, I'm just gonna switch over to monitor 3. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna put a big red X over this, and then I love this. You know, one thing I really wished is that this app had more better defaults. Because every time it defaults, it doesn't default to this screen. It defaults to this. I don't know why. Granted, I do have this set as my main monitor, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it should be set to my main monitor on this app. It's dumb. It's stupid. I don't know why it keeps doing this to me. It wants to see me suffer, apparently. Okay, so I guess I could do a little bit bigger there. Okay, there we go. We'll do red. We'll put an X over this. Then we'll just put down. Whoops. Yeah. If people are gonna wonder what the heck happened here, I'm just gonna go like, I made a mistake. That's why I made a mistake. Okay, so, oh yeah, channel 2023, and it's not 2024, not 13, but it says 2023. It really should be 2024. And 12 years. Now, I wonder how many people are probably going to notice this correction. Also, one thing I should probably do, too, is also, if I were to go into my own YouTube channel here. Yep, there we go. I should also take a look at the community tab and see where this vote is going. 5 votes, 60 partial lines, 20% full lines, and 20% no lines. I think I know what the winner's going to be here. I think I already have a winner here. I kind of figured people would go for partial lines anyway. But I figured I'd ask, just to be sure. It's kind of like when I posted up, which one would you like? Even though I already knew what was going to win. I knew that people were going to want to have the choice between a boy and a girl. So, you know, I wasn't going to deny him that. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to go like, yeah, well, you know, do you guys want me to make it simple for myself? Or do you guys want to make me suffer for my own life? For my own decisions? Oh, right, and I should probably show you what's going on here, too. So, give me a quick second here. I'm just going to switch it over to monitor 2. I'm going to move this over here. I know, I got a lot of tabs open. Don't freak out. This is something that's normal for me, okay? We're going to change this up. And we're going to go into... Oh, good My webcam. There we go. Not trying to show too much of my phone file hierarchy here. There we go. Open. Done. Okay, publish. So if anybody sees that and asks, I would just refer them to this live stream at this very moment, okay? Okay, let's get this published. Hopefully it's not killing my stream by doing this. Okay, so far it hasn't. Oh, maybe I might fire up YouTube over here too. It has not. It has not updated yet. There we go. Now it's updated. People are gonna go like, huh? But, you know, I might as well just go like, I made a mistake, guys. Guys, I made a mistake. Okay. Well, at least you can't say that I didn't have fun with my channel, because I do. It's just... Oh, man, I don't know how many people are going to believe this. Some people will probably look at it and go like, huh, that has personality and style, while other people are going to go like, what the heck happened here? And truth be told, no, it's all my fault. I made a misjudgment. I miscounted. I thought it was 13. No, it was really 12. Because 13 would be next year for 2025, so... Though, it is kind of weird. It's supposed to be my 10th year for, doing, the month of scares, even though, really, that started in 2015 and not 2014. I don't know how on earth that math works out. But for some reason, I have 10 Halloween versions of the shake, so... Or, well, 9 Halloween versions of the shake, so... But then again, I did do a pseudo one a while back, so, you know. You're always more than welcome to go back in time and check it out. Anyway. So, now that we got that out of the way... Oh, no! We're about to enter the video! Great! I mean, I guess I could do a trailer for, The Inner World. But... I don't have everything ready yet. Heck, I'm concepting the enemies right now. On my own spare time. Off camera. Own spare time on work. And my own spare time... Well, here at home, too, actually. It stopped because I closed it, Cyberlink. Though, granted, I am actually starting to have some headaches with Cyberlink, because actually I had to reinstall Power Director 17, and after I did that, most of the assets that I was given when I got Power Director 17 were completely gone. I went through my emails trying to restore it, and trying to restore all the assets that I was originally got when I bought the product, and I haven't been able to get them back. It ticks me off. It's really making me mad. And you know what's worse? Every time I go onto the website, they're pushing me on to Power Director 365, where I have to pay a monthly subscription. At this point, I am ready to just go for a completely different video editor at this point. Because, I'm sorry, granted, even if a monthly subscription... Oh, sure, some people might say that a monthly subscription is cheaper than buying a full product. Well, yeah, but in the long run, buying the full product and using it whenever you want is much more cheaper than buying a monthly subscription. And then when you have to cancel it because you can't pay it anymore, they completely and totally strip you for all rights of using that product altogether. Like, seriously, it's dumb, it's stupid, it's convoluted, it really just makes the thing unnecessary. The only thing I think was positive with that is that you get constant updates, but that's pretty much it. Like, you're always up to date, you always know what's going on, but that's pretty much all I would say. That's where the positives end, for me, personally. It's where I think I would draw the line in the terms of, yeah, no, I am not going to endorse in this. I do not want to endorse in this. I refuse to endorse in this. Because it's just not right. It's not right to endorse. Well, I mean, I don't think it's really right to necessarily make a person pay for a product over and over and over again. Not let them own it, have it like on their physical hard drive, and then just completely and totally take it away after they stop paying. I mean, that's kind of dumb. Especially when it comes down to something like, a video editor. Honestly, it's just better to pay for it once and then use it forever, because by the time you get to the point where you can buy a new one, the old one has already paid for itself. Like, seriously. Okay, granted, I haven't made that much money off of YouTube, but still, Power Director 17 is still working fine for me, even if I still can't get any of those assets back. That prepping livestream thing, I had to animate that all by myself, all by hand. It was a pain in the butt, but I did it. I did it. Still, like, when it comes down to that, when it comes down to the fact that you can't own your own products anymore, this is kind of where a lot of people will justify piracy, you know? Piracy no longer becomes a crime. It becomes, well, just a duty, really. Because if you can't own the product, then there's no point in paying for the product. Because, I mean, if you're not owning the product, then you know what? You might as well just give it away for free. Seriously. And I know they got a free version of Power Director, and the latest version too, but I don't want to necessarily go for that because it's so limiting. It's so limited in what it can do. Because they limit it because they want you to pay to use all those features. And you know, I'm kind of upset that they went down this rabbit hole. I'm kind of upset that they followed Adobe into this train wreck, into that fire. But then again, a lot of companies are doing that. I hate that. People should own the product that they pay for it. If they don't pay for it, well, fine. Let them have the product. But if they don't own it, well, I guess they'd be perfectly fine with that too. They could be fine with not owning it if they didn't pay for it anyway. Like if it was a rental or a trial or something like that. But, you know, and heck, if I were to do a trial product, actually, you know, I would just let them have all the features. Just every single one. And then, once they get to the point where they have to pay for it, I would have to put it up so, like, hey, look, you get a 50% discount for using the trial version, you know? And you pay for it, you own it. You don't have to worry about anything else. You don't have to worry about me taking it away from you if you want to stop payment. Because, well, actually, you paid for it once! Actually, it's the one thing that drives me nuts about Nintendo's online subscription service, too. With the fact that you have to pay in order to play the NES games, the SNES games, the Nintendo 64 games, and the Genesis games. Oh yeah, and don't forget the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Color games as well. Like, honestly, Virtual Console did it better. I'm kind of happy I decided to download as many Virtual Console games as I could on the Wii U and my 3DS before the Wii U and the eShop 3 shut down. Though, granted, I guess I wasn't really necessarily doing myself a service there because, granted, while I still have yet to homebrew my Wii U, and I also have yet to homebrew my 3DS, I actually would probably prefer to just start pirating games on it because, well, I mean, Nintendo has pretty much removed all limits on the console anyway. And basically, there's a lot of people who are doing this at home for free and doing it somehow better than Nintendo. Even bringing back Miiverse, bringing back the old-fashioned style of the Wii U menu, bringing back the Wii U chat feature, heck, even bringing back features on the 3DS that were really nice to have. Like, it's kind of upsetting to see that Nintendo treated their consoles this way, and also decided to cut off us from so many games that they have yet to offer another way of playing us to. And tell you the truth, I really wish Virtual Console would come back, because you know what? If they did, they have a customer right here. I would literally pay again. Heck, even if it's like $7 a pop for an NES game, I would still pay that. Because I paid for it once, I own it. And if NSO adds features onto that, well, that's fine. Because if it adds like $12 a month and it adds like online play or communication for players, adding more save states and adding rewind feature, you know what? I'd be fine with that. I would personally pay for that. I would pay for the game and I would pay for the NSO because in my eyes, it would seem worth it. That's kind of the biggest deal right there. That's the big deal right there. Nintendo would be rolling in cash if they were to do a strategy like that. But yet, they still keep doing. They are trying to go down the Microsoft and the Sony route, even though I know it's not going to work. It's going to fail for them, big time. There's going to be people who are out there who are going to not like it. Especially with the fact that, yeah, even if the base has gotten better with the amount of games that you can play, it still hasn't necessarily gotten better. The online connection still sucks from time to time. Because it's still basically a glorified Switch, or, well, like a glorified local connect just over the internet, you know? They're still doing it peer-to-peer. And it's outdated. It's really old. On peer-to-peer, on like the Wii U or the 3DS or the Wii, was fine. And you know what? At least with the Wii U, the 3DS, and the Wii, actually, from my experience, even on this really terrible internet that just barely skips out the 720p, it was amazing. It actually had no connection lag, no problems, no issues, even communicating to other people on the other side of the world. It had no problems. It was absolutely amazing. I loved the experience from when I got the chance to do it. Which, you know, really goes to show how much Nintendo has slipped in some of these cases. I mean, they're not bad in any way, shape, or form. I think their games are still great. And the fact that at least they still put some heart and effort into their games still shows. Heck, I mean, look at the recent release of Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Actually, I've played that demo multiple times and I still get a kick out of it. I still wish I could pay for the full game, but, you know, the fact that they released it for $50 obviously says something too. Because, you know, normally they wouldn't release a game like that for $50. They'd be going $60, if $70. But, you know, I'm glad that they released it for $50. I mean, look, as much as I will gripe on some things about Nintendo, at least they still know how to appeal to a casual audience. And I think that's really what matters, is the appeal. And trying to get people to come in and buy your console or buy your games and all that other stuff. So anyway, now that I got the rant completely and totally out of the way, because I have been unproductive this whole frickin' time, I think it's about time that I get back onto this. Okay, well, I guess there was one minor exception to the argument, and that is Pokemon, but, you know, well, I do have a hope for Z through A. And I know some people are going to be questioning me on this, but here's the part that gives me the ray of hope. It says it's coming out in 2025, but it's only a ray, because I'm still going to have my big old cup of skepticality over here. And the reason why for this, okay, here's my reasoning for this. Pokemon Legends Arceus, even if I like the game, it still isn't necessarily the greatest game on Earth. It's not the best Pokemon could ever be. I mean, sure, when I come back to it, I still have fun with it, but it's like, I kind of wish for something a little more fluid in an experience, and also, you know, probably didn't necessarily have some graphical issues every now and then. Because granted, even if it looks better than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, because tell you the truth, people are going to say like, oh yeah, Scarlet and Violet looks like a Nintendo 64 game. How dare you insult the Nintendo 64 that way? To tell you the truth, Pokemon Legends Arceus still could look a lot better. But then again, part of it was just because they were crunching both Scarlet and Violet and Pokemon Legends Arceus out at the same time. And really, that's kind of the biggest deal right there, is that honestly, I'm kind of worried about when they're going to release this game, Z through A. If they're going to release Z through A at the beginning of the year, like they did with Legends Arceus, I am going to be a little bit worried. Especially with the fact that they're probably going to announce the next generation of Pokemon at the end of the year. But if they release it at the end of the year, then actually I may have some hope restored. I may feel like they may be going in a better direction here. They're trying to give their team some actual time to develop the game, to make the game engine better. Actually, if anything, if they delay it to 2026, then I will be thrilled. Like, I would be so happy with that, because then that really goes to show that they are caring for the product again. They are caring for the game again. They are caring for the thing that made them what made them so famous and so well known in the first place. Not the merch, not the shows, not the cards, but quite literally the game itself. And you know, that's really all that really matters. Because I mean, honestly, if they're not going to focus on the game, then they might as well just abandon their core audience of Pokemon fans themselves. Yes, including me. Because, to tell you the truth, look, I criticize them not because I hate them. I criticize them because I love it. I grew up with Pokemon. I grew up with the original 1990s anime. I mean, I actually wanted to be Ash Ketchum when I grew up. Did that ever happen? Heck no! But then again, I wish Pokemon were real. Then of course I would be traveling around right now with a Charmander. Because why not? I think Charmander's awesome. Period. End of story. It's not because he turns into Charizard, because I just like Charmander. Look, sometimes you don't need to go to the complex dragon. You just need to keep it a simple little guy. Who always smiles, who's always happy, has that nice little flame on his tail. Well, of course, you gotta protect it, of course. Protect the flame. A guy who would help you light a fire and then maybe have, like, some marshmallows and graham crackers and chocolate with, you know? That would be kind of fun. Anyway. But I think I ranted on it long enough. I really do need to get focused back on this project anyway. It's kind of funny how I rented onto Nintendo, though, considering that I'm doing something about a Metroidvania. But then again, Metroidvania came from Nintendo. Why? Because the very first Metroidvania that was probably ever made is by far Metroid. It's the reason why they call it Metroidvanias. And I'm not gonna lie, Metroid is actually... The original Metroid is actually really good. I actually have played it on the Wii U, and oh my gosh, I am surprised how good the game is. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect by all means. There are some pitfalls that you can fall into, but it's still... I'm impressed. I was actually kind of surprised to see how well the game was made. And truth be told, I actually was very happy to see that. Even considering that, you know, it was still early years of the NES, and they're still exploring some of the technology and what they could do with it. But then, of course, it's also kind of fun to see some of that mentality come forward into Metroid Dread, which, of course, by the way, is also another fantastic game that I would recommend playing, okay? Seriously. If you have a Nintendo Switch and you don't have that game yet, what are you doing with your life? Go pick it up right now. Stop. Drop everything right now, okay? Just stop watching the stream right now. Go buy it. It's a good game. Seriously. Nintendo doesn't even have to pay me to say that. It is seriously a good game. I mean, yes, it does have a few scary moments inside there, but, you know. I mean, not to really scare a hardened horror fan, but, you know, for anybody who is looking for a bit of a thrill, yeah, this game does have a few moments that actually get your heart pumping, you know? Anyway, so I need to get back to work on this. So again, sorry about the tangent. I really need to stop doing tangents, but tangents are so easy to fall into, you know. It's an ADHD thing. God, my nose, my nose, my nose, my nose is giving me so many problems right now. I wish I had a box of Kleenex. Oh, actually, I think I got a box of Kleenex somewhere around here. I think I have a box of Kleenexes somewhere around here, but I have absolutely positively no clue where they are. I mean, I guess I could just run into my bathroom and borrow toilet paper. I mean, what does it matter? They both feel the same on my nose. I really do need to get, like, Sudafed or something like that. Anyway. So... forgive me as I have my brain fart and I'm just sitting here going like, what on earth are we doing again? I'm trying to recap from where I was. Okay, so basically what I need to do is I need to make it set, I need to set up a vector. Actually, I'm really deciding if that's really the best idea. But then again, at the same time, it's probably not the worst idea either. Because if I delete the whole function from existing, at least it will save up on some memory. Because, really, pushing for anything else wouldn't necessarily work out very well. Anyway. What's good, man? There's quite a few good things about that. I mean, I don't know where to start. Okay. So if you wonder what I'm doing here, if you wonder why I'm sitting here silent, if you're wondering why I'm just sitting here looking at the screen, scrolling around, trying to figure out what on earth to do. I don't know. I think I'm just having some major brain farts tonight. I think we all have those moments, but, you know. Also, yeah, right now I'm trying to stream it at 720p. I don't know if my internet's dying right now. We'll know. We'll know. So far, at least, none of my Wi-Fi cards have caught on fire. There's no smoke coming out from my computer, so the one inside of it's doing fine. The one on the outside, I don't see any smoke coming from, so it's good too. Actually, that one's blinking like crazy, so I bet you that one's the one that's handling the stream right now. And then, of course, there's my phone. Which, if that catches on fire, well, I don't know. That's like a $100 mistake right there. And that's even considering that my phone looks like something that you would get from, like, the early 2000s and late 1990s. No, granted, actually, I think early 2000s phones were Actually, no, more like late 2000s, really. Because early 2000s phones still had LCDs in them, didn't they? I forget. But anyway. No, it looks good? Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm just hoping nothing's dying here. That's all. Okay. Anyway, well, besides my brain cells, one by one, because I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Okay, so basically what I need to do is I need to get this vector thing. Actually, you kind of missed it. I had a whole long ranted speech about Nintendo and such. And also about the conversation where I saluted you. Sorry, I didn't realize the context of the situation until I actually saw your message about that, the reply about that. I do agree, that guy is kind of a nasty guy. And really, he doesn't deserve any pay or attention that he gets. I think the only good thing that Yandere Dev ever did for me is he taught me how to use the Switch. Not the Nintendo Switch. I mean, Switch as in this. Which, yeah, I will admit, is far more efficient than the if-else statements. Though, granted, if-else statements still have their places, too. Alright. So anyway, what I need to do here is I need... Nah, it's fine. Lol. I mean, it's like, if you're working on the same game over and over and over again, but doing different variations or iterations on it, that's fine, because, you know, you can always do refinement. It's a shame, because the game was interesting when he was younger. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it was my cup of tea, but... yeah, I guess it was a fairly interesting premise. Alright, let's see. Map manager. Okay, so we don't need the map manager. We're just looking at... we're not looking at camera either. And we're definitely not looking at commands either. So we're going to close that down. What we need to look at is maps right here. This one right here. Okay, are we looking at it? We looking at it? Okay, good. Alright, so far I set this up. This is a constructor. And not a default constructor, which basically calls up nothing. Because, really, a default doesn't do anything. Basically, it just makes it so that I can construct. Actually, I had a way of describing this, and then I immediately lost it. I really hate these moments. ADHD moment. My buddy rabbit mind trails? My buddy rabbit trails. My mind buddy trails. Is it alright to say that I'm having a night? Alright, so here we go. What we need to do is we need to figure out how to get this to work. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting this inside a vector class. But, again, this is also going to end up causing a bit of an issue here for the fact that I have to do a little bit of memory management with it. Every time I load in a new instance of a map, and then the other map gets unloaded, I have to delete the previous map. And, well, that's the thing. I need to figure out how to delete the previous map while still trying to keep the current map still current. There's got to be a way of doing this. There's got to be a methodology of doing this. And so I'll have to break out the whiteboard. Right now, I'm just using an untitled notepad. Why? Because Notepad is the classical programmer's tool. Or, well, it's the programmer's tool if you really want to make your life hard on yourself, but, you know. Look, if you use Notepad, more power to you, okay? Look, it's just because I don't always use Notepad to program things, it does not mean I am not a real developer, or I'm not a real programmer, okay? The tools you use really shouldn't define you. It's what you do with them that defines you. It's what you make is what defines you. And right now, I make absolute garbage, so I'm a garbage developer, so... I don't know if anybody saw that one coming. Or it was pretty much obvious as a big old blinking neon sign, like over a sniper who tries to be stealthy, you know? Or, you know what, if I applied TF2 logic, the sniper that was wearing the unusual hat. Look, if you're gonna go with sniper class, never choose the unusual hat, okay? Those particle effects will quite literally be a dead ringer for you. Everybody would know you're there. Oh, yeah, the dead ringer. That's a good tool, too, by the way. Nah. You're an artist. Thank you. Alright, here we go. Okay, so vector maps call maps, so I'm gonna be doing... What was I gonna call this void again? I forget. The reason why you call them voids in this is because you don't really necessarily want them returning a value. An int returns a value, a boolean returns a value, heck, even a float returns a value. But a void, you do not have to worry about this. So... No data! Okay, there we go, back online. Something's burning. I don't know what, but something's burning. Okay, so here we go. So, what was I going to put this under? I think I was going to put it underneath load map. So we're just going to do that. We're going to go... If I have any spelling errors or grammatical errors, or if you see any syntax errors, don't worry about it. That's just me doing this as a quick sketch. And besides that, I'm kind of used to doing it with IntelliSense, which honestly, yeah, makes me dumber. Fine, whatever. I'll just deal with it. I'll live with it. If other people are going to call me dumb, then that's fine. I call myself dumb all the time, so, you know. Actually, you know what? If I have to refer to an image, I'll just refer to this one. Wrong screen! There we go! I'm just gonna refer to this image. Okay, had enough time looking at it? Okay. Back to work. Break time is over. The moment has passed. Back to work. Hey, I actually sounded French that time. Whoopee! Okay, I sort of almost sounded French that time, but... You know. Okay, so void load map. What I need to do is I need to make it so that it... I need to make it so that it will load only once, though. And that's the thing. So how am I gonna do this? Because if I have it loading over and over and over and over and over again, that's a memory leak, and it's gonna... Wait, no data with a green light? Okay, that sounds excellent! Okay, which one is it, YouTube? Is it no data, or is it doing excellent? Okay, yeah, I definitely smell smoke, but it's not from here. Ah, YouTube poop. If they're smoke, they pitch back. If that's basically what I'm experiencing right now, YouTube poop, there's smoke, it pitch back. Alrighty then. So, here we go. Load map, and then we're going to figure out how to do this. We need to figure out a way to prevent it from loading over and over and over again. But also so that when it deletes the map, well, it would still not set a trigger so that it would load the same map over and over and over again, or the map that you're currently on over and over and over again. Because again, this is the biggest problem with doing things as a vector class, is that basically if you were to do something like, I don't know, this, vector, well wait, no, call map, dot, push back, maps, and then of course we'll put down like load data, or well, map data, because why not? And then we're gonna go load texture. Actually, I think I did it the other way around, but we'll just keep it like this for reference sake. Texture. And then, finally, smooth text. Because if we did something like that, the loop, we'll just call it over and 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 over again. And with that, and with the fact that it will be calling over and over and over and over and over again, it would cause a major memory leak, which, you know, is basically like this. Oh no, my program crashed because the memory had a crack that was caused by loading the same thing over and over again. Like that. Though, granted, the computer won't say that. It would just crash the program overall. Because, basically, well, actually, it's more of a safety feature of Visual Studio more than anything. Actually, pretty much a good safety feature of any IDE, really. That it crashes the program before the memory leak gets too crazy and then ends up crashing your computer overall. Because, you know, that's never a good thing if it crashes your computer. Especially if you have one, you know? So, basically, we're trying to avoid that. Because when it comes out to actually shipping the product, a memory leak can be very devastating. And if you want proof, actually, there is tons of it, actually. Like, for example, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That game shipped with a massive memory leak. Not only did it cause a musical bug to happen, but it also happened to crash the Nintendo Switch itself. It crashed the Nintendo Switch itself, and it would cause corrupted data, which would cause the game not to work properly after you got back to it. Not that the game worked properly anyway, but, you know. Or, like, actually, I think Cyberpunk also had some memory leaks on it too, but don't quote me on that. I'm not quite sure. I think it did. But there were some memory leaks found in that one too. Like I said, when a program releases with memory leaks and it's not being handled by like a debugger or by like some external program as well, it's going to more than likely crash. It's going to more than likely have problems and issues and really not work like it should. And again, that is a huge no-no. That is something that we should be trying to avoid at all costs. So what I really need to do is I need to figure out how to get this to work. So I know that basically a vector works on the amount of times it runs. A vector basically works on the amount of times that you run it. So, you know, if you were to, on the amount of times that you run it. And honestly, this you can also set up as a user-controlled experience rather than being a programmer-controlled experience. Unlike a map, which basically a map is already something that's predefined, you know? There was also another memory storage option too, but I forget what it was called. Didn't it cause, like, console bricks? Yes, it did. It caused console bricks. It caused a lot of issues with the console, that's for sure. I do remember that. And Nintendo had to put a statement out saying, don't leave your game running for more than 24 hours because it will literally break your console. Thankfully, I have friends who haven't done that, so because apparently their consoles still run. But, you know, still, your game shouldn't be released like that. But I have a whole video ranting about that already on this channel, so. And in case you're wondering, I already said something about ZNA. Though, granted, if I wanted to give you the short version of it, I would have to say this. I'm happy that it's coming out in 2025, but I still have a big goblet of skepticism just put off to the side for now. Because if it's released at the beginning of the year, like Legends Arceus was, and then they're going to announce the next-gen game at the end of the year like they did with Scarlet and Violet, then honestly, yeah, it's probably not going to be really well worth endorsed. But if they're going to release it towards the end of the year, I'd be perfectly fine with that, actually. I wouldn't mind picking up a copy of the game. But if they were to, like, I don't know, delay it to 2026, I would be thrilled. Like, honestly, that would mean that they're actually caring for the game, rather than just pushing out a product because they need to push out a product now, you know? I mean, at least I'm happy that they do. They should be sued, to be honest. Unbelievable. Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of sad that a lot of game companies are thinking, oh yeah, let's just cut corners and finish this game and get it out. And really, granted, in a game jam, it's kind of understandable because, I mean, really, you're working against the deadline. And really, that's kind of what it really is all about in the games industry, is trying to work against the deadline. But at the same time, the real problem is that some of these deadlines have become kind of unreal. They're trying to focus on making big games in short time frames, and honestly, they're kind of losing track of, like, what their scope should be, how their scope should be like, and really forgetting the whole point of it. They're kind of making it less and less of an art. I mean, the real idea about having your limits is that, actually, you know what your limits are. You know what you can do, and you know what the console or the computer that you're aiming for is capable of doing. And because of that, you're able to use that knowledge better to make it do some amazing things. You know what? Actually, a really good piece of proof of this is something that unfortunately suffered a DMCA takedown from Valve, Portal 64. I'm sorry, but, you know, I'm upset with the fact that that game got a DMCA takedown. It's just... yeah. I'm sorry. I thought that was kind of amazing that he actually managed to get Portal the way it is working on the Nintendo 64. With the Nintendo 64 graphics and how limited that console really is. The fact that it ran on it as smoothly as it did and as well as in it, showing that really it's not about the hardware, it's about what you do with it. That really counts. Part of the reason why a lot of people would say that the Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 5 has truly been the generation of nothing. Because really, what have they done with the technology that really makes me want to buy the console, that makes me want to get in line for a console like this? Sure, I might have drooled over a PlayStation 5 at first, but that was only because of Ratchet and Clank. But that was my only reason. It's because they were selling it? Fair enough. Wait, no data now! Oh, you piece of garbage. Okay, there we go. We had a slight disconnect here. Sorry about that. Ugh. Yep, there's smoke coming in from somewhere. I don't know where, but it is coming in. I mean, I guess if I wanted to talk about the next generation of consoles, I could talk about my opinions on the Switch 2 rumors, which, by the way, I'm not believing any of them. Reason why was because there were rumors about the Switch Pro before the Switch OLED came out, and then we got the Switch OLED, which turned out just to be a Switch with a better screen, better speaker, and better kickstand. Oh, yeah, and more built-in memory, but that's it. Like, that was really it for the Switch OLED. There was nothing else that was improved, there was no better hardware, it wasn't really necessarily a pro version of the console. Honestly, I was sitting here going like, I'm kind of amazed that they released a different version of the Switch, but at the same time, I am relieved to know that it wasn't a Switch Pro, like everybody else was rumored. So, you know, when it comes down to it, Switch 2, I am not buying into this. I am not going all in. I'm not putting my eggs in one basket. I know there's going to be some people who are going to think I'm crazy for not doing that, but at the same time, I have my justified reasons. Number one, Nintendo has been oddly silent about this. Like, seriously, we haven't heard anything about co-project names, we haven't heard anything about, I mean, Nintendo hasn't even stepped out and talked publicly about doing a next-generation console, or doing, well, a different console altogether. I mean, part of the reason why the OLED kind of surprised me is because Nintendo didn't really necessarily step out and talk about it. And, of course, they didn't necessarily have any other code names for it. And granted, I get that the Switch is 7 years old, but at the same time, the fact that the console still remains pretty strong, and a lot of people still use it, a lot of people still buy games for it, and a lot of people still enjoy it, really kind of goes to show how well built the console really is. And sure, I get it. It does have a fair amount of stinkers released on the platform too. But then, of course, you know, what platform really doesn't? I mean, come on. Now these days, you can throw a rock onto almost anything, and you could probably name one thing that is really terrible for that console. Or for that PC. Or for... yeah, that tablet. I mean, basically, bad games are almost a dime a dozen, but, you know, that's the thing. Sometimes you gotta have bad to know what the good is. Let's see, I wonder if I put, like, an if check. Probably wouldn't work. Actually, I wonder if I did something like this. I think I'm having a bit of an epiphany here. Give me a quick second. An epiphany, a catastrophe, whatever you want to call it. There is a madness to my methods, okay? So just stick with me on this. So if we're just going to do a new integer, we're just going to call it int room size. Int, actually... zone. Let's call it zone count. No data again? Come on, connect. Come on, just connect. Don't you dare. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, is it still streaming over here? Okay, good. It's still streaming. Ugh. I'm having connection issues all of a sudden. Oh. And you know what? It's bad too. I ran an internet test and I was getting like over 5 gigabits of download. I mean, of upload. Like, seriously, 720p should be no sweat for this. And yet somehow it's still struggling. I don't know why. So, if... okay, so we're going to say if call map dot size is less than, that's greater than, less than, zone, was I about to spell Sonic there? Z-O-N-E count. No data again, gosh dang it. Yeah. Okay, they're back. It's back. I hope it doesn't disconnect again. Because if so, I'm going to end this stream because I know that if it disconnects again and it's going to remain off for a while, YouTube themselves are going to end the stream. Because it's happened to me so many freaking times already. I can't even count to you how many times this has happened. And you know, it's only because I have to deal with a very, very poor internet. So far, so good. It's still saying it's got connection, so... I mean, it's saying that it's not receiving enough video to maintain streaming, which is fine, because I already know that really I am pushing my streaming I am pushing my Wi-Fi, the internet, the local internet, to its limits here. You know, the fact that they charge us so much for this is absolute BS. BS. Alright, so basically call map size zone cap, and then we're just gonna go like map dot push back. I don't know if this is gonna work. I have a funny feeling that this isn't gonna work, but we're gonna see if it does. So we're just gonna go map push back, okay, and then we're gonna go actually call map. Gosh dang it. Maps. And then of course we're gonna do, I believe I had it text move first, but then of course we're gonna go file path, and then we're gonna do the actual map itself. Okay, so we'll do that, and then okay, so for the terms of the draw, for the part that actually draws everything up on the screen, I need to figure out a way of making this draw state work, or this, man, oh man, my brain is farting hard. Ugh. I didn't get that much sleep last night, by the way. I went to bed with some stomach pains, and unfortunately, because of that, I didn't sleep, so I just kind of... Screw you, YouTube. Screw you. No, no, no. Please don't last too long. Okay, thank you. Well, let's say no data over here, but it says it's receiving some data, so... Sheesh, if this keeps up. Like I said, I am going to have to end the stream a little bit prematurely. Because right now, it is still struggling. Big time. So anyway. So basically for the draw statement... We're just gonna do that, even though honestly it's not like that at all. We're gonna go for int I equals 0 if, wait, no, not if, call map dot size pointer is greater than I, then I plus plus. Kind of wish this had the syntax ability like the notepad in Linux. Actually, there's quite a few things with Linux that I've actually grown fond of, especially the fact that you could just code in its note and text editor, and it will just automatically detect what you're coding. Like, seriously, it will go like, oh, this is a C++ file. Bam! C++ code. You know? It's always nice. It's a nice feature. I really wish they would have done this with Notepad, like, years ago. Microsoft, get on the ball, please. Anyway. Okay, current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend using a stream bitrate of 2500 kilobits per second. I'm trying to. It just sucks that the internet doesn't help me here. So anyway, we're just gonna go for... Well, actually, no, not that, but we're just gonna go, like, call... Oh, wait, no. Target. Dot. Draw. And then we're just gonna go call map. Bracket 1 bracket. Then there we go. Oh yeah, and then it stays. Even though honestly I never put it up there. Okay, so basically the idea is, well, shoot, I gotta do something here too. Urgh. Shoot. What am I gonna do about deleting the previous zone, though? Oh. This makes things a little more complicated. It's a conundrum. It's a confusing conundrum. Part of the reason why I still code from scratch, though, because, you know, I kind of like some of these conundrums. At least having something for me to do. Or something to casually think about through my day so that I don't go pondering down a different avenue that really shouldn't be pondered. It keeps some of my thoughts under control, you know? So like I said, I really do need to figure out how to delete the previous map file, but how do I do that? Okay, yeah, I know, I'm doing a quick game of solitaire here, get me on this. Like I said, I need to think here for a minute, and this helps me clear my head sometimes. I mean, I don't think it fully works all the time, but, you know, sometimes distracting yourself from the problem could be the best solution that you could ever ask for, or ever really need. Anyway. Though, really, you shouldn't be distracting yourself at all, so please don't mimic me whatsoever, okay? Kids, remember, don't copy my actions, otherwise you're going to be going back to the front of the line every time you go to a bar at a public meeting or whatever, or like I forgot what they called those again. Shoot. Oh, yeah, like a buffet, and you have to go back to the beginning of the line because you forgot about the silverware. Yeah, don't follow my example, kids. Okay? Please, just do yourselves a favor. You'll be doing everybody a favor if you don't follow my example. But anyway, the real question is, the big part of the equation that I'm still not getting is how on earth do I delete a value after I leave, or after the player leaves that said area. See, that's the thing. If I were to, I don't know, perchance, like, if I were to figure out a way to delete that, well, I mean, I guess I could use an if statement, but even then, that's probably going to be iffy. It's not going to work out very well. It's not going to work out well to my advantage anyway, as far as I know. As far as I can tell. It's not really necessarily going to make things... Am I going to do this all in one go with this deck? Am I literally just going to do this all in one go with this deck? I'm probably going to literally do this all in one go with this deck. Because I have this game mostly solved. I did it all in one go on this deck. Holy cow. How the heck did that happen? Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Sometimes it can be pretty randomized. Anyway,
So, of course, like I said, I probably shouldn't do an if statement because I know that's not going to work. I also need to make it so that it deletes the last item automatically. But how am I going to do that? How is that going to be possible? Well, I mean, I know I could probably do it from... Oh, forgive me, I'm just trying to get a little more comfortable here. Not that I'm ever comfortable. I could do it from here, but the big, huge problem with doing it from there would be trying to dictate how, in which area, it needs to close out. And see if that's the problem. So difficult. So hard to figure out. So intense. A lot of things that I need to work out. I don't know. Maybe I might want to retire for a little bit so I can figure this out. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea, but at the same time, well, of course I do need to go to the bathroom right now. I'll reveal the big secret. I need to go to the bathroom for the past hour. Yeah, kind of embarrassing to reveal something like that, but, you know. Maybe I might end this right here, so I can figure this out. Because, like I said, when it comes down to it, I need to figure out a way of getting the map to adapt and grow and change its size and all that. And granted, I do have a way of doing that, but it's going to take forever to figure out how to implement that in such a way. And, of course, it really seems to hate it whenever I try to do it. Well, I don't know why it hates it that way, but it seems to hate it that way. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily the loading of the, I don't think so. I'm almost curious, but I don't know. It's gonna have to take some off-screen experimentation. Anyway. Okay, I think I will end the stream here then. Alright, setting that to live so that's a little more accurate. And of course, if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below. And I'll see you all in the next video. This is Superchocolatemilkshake, signing off.